Well, it's no wonder Christian didn't turn up at my house this morning. Look where I am. Almost in zone 4. Almost in zone 4. Just about scraped inside zone 3. I gotta be honest, I'm baffled this week. I'm gobsmacked. When I looked at this, I thought, oh, I'm looking at the wrong picture. And I thought, I don't remember being that far out on any picture. But I've looked at this, and I looked at it and looked at it, and I thought, how by any stretch of the imagination could they have got the average to be that low? Now, I can imagine one or two of the judges would have gone that low, but for the average to be there, I couldn't get over that at all. Because when I look at, let's have a look at a still from last Saturday's update so we can see where we went. Now you can see there that all of us, how many's there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's about 11 or 12 crosses here of ours. And we've more or less all gone sort of in a straight line across there, one or two lower, one or two higher, as you'd expect. But I would expect the average from the height to be along that sort of line there and that sort of direction. But going back to this week's picture, judging picture, how they've gone that low was an absolute mystery to me. But then I looked at the judging picture and that left me even more baffled. So here's this week's judging picture. Now, as you know, I say it every week, I'm colourblind, so these crosses don't stand out for me properly like they would anybody else. So I've got to look for them half the time. And I missed this one up here. It's only when I noticed, I thought, why are the lines all the way up there? And then I could see that one across up there. That one's bizarre. That makes no sense from anybody that it could be sort of in that direction. The fella holding a baby in the back, he's not looking in that direction. This guy is certainly not looking that high. Touch and go from the guy on the right hand side in the white. You know, he could have been sort of higher up, I suppose. This ninja over here on the left, he's no good, the man no beast. But yeah, then I noticed there was another one here. And I thought, well, okay, that could be in his line of sight and possibly his line of sight. So I didn't think this one here was that bad, if I'm honest. However, he's out there on his own, so you just know that one's going to take it out, and that's why it would have been so far left and so far down. And of course, that one's going to get taken out because that's in the middle of nowhere. What's going on with that one? That one makes no sense to anybody. And don't think that one is that bad. But the problem is, because the other cluster is down this area, then they're going to take that one out and definitely take that one out, which has brought it now right down and so much further to the left. So let me skip to the end and see what happened. So there's the final decision. They took Hughes out, then they took Liam's out, which was the one up here somewhere near Mars, and this other one over here, which was up his right nostril. But they've gone with this cluster of 6 here. But yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on judging with this week because, yes, I was miles out from it. But, I mean, you've got to admit the judging was absolutely crazy. They were all over the place. Having said that, somebody won. I don't know if they got it exact. I didn't check that. But and I'm sure maybe one or two of you got closest car or whatever. But I just thought the judging was bonkers this week in how far out they were spread. Anyway, let's have a look at this week's picture. Alright, there's my first cross for the week. Why am I there? Because if I look at this guy here on the right, the one who looks like he's playing Spot the Balloon, where his cheeks are puffed up and he's blowing, I'm going to go sort of that direction. So sort of in line with his head, his eyes, his ears, the general shape of his head. I'm looking in somewhere along that line. So where does this fella in white, where's he intersecting that line then? Now, because his photo is taken from a different thing, his eyes are in different directions. So I've got one eye sort of looking up here, this roughly that direction. But when you look at his other eye, it's looking in a completely different direction. So he's looking over here somewhere in his other eye. So I can only assume that this picture, him, was cut out from a different photo where the ball was much, much closer to his head, which is the only explanation you could have for his two eyes looking in different directions, but both being able to see the ball. But of course, in this case, we've got to see where the two of them overlap. So I think I'm going to have to come further to the left, but to do that, I'm going to have to go higher as well. If I draw, let me change that to a white line and go up the middle of where he's looking. Because normally I would go in the middle, so somewhere along there. Because it's very rare that the judges go in the middle of both eyes. They'll usually pick an eye, a favourite eye, and they'll stick with that. So some will go over to the right, some will go over to the left, which is why I've tried to go into the middle. But looking at that, I'm going to have to move mine because it isn't in the middle. So I'm going to have to move mine further over to the left, I think. Further over near the white line, or perhaps a little bit further over the white line. But again, it depends how the judges see it. And I say this regularly, is that my opinion of where I think it should be is totally irrelevant. Not worth a damn. Where will the judges see it? What's their view going to be? And that's a tricky one every week, because, I mean, look at this week's. Look at the varying opinions they had this week. Somebody thought it was miles away up on the top left, somebody thought it was right over on the right, and somebody thought it was low. So we've got to work out on an average of where you think they're going to go. And I think most of them are going to be along this line that comes from the player on the right in a red. Along that sort of line. I don't think they're going to be much higher or much lower than that line. It's this guy with a beard is going to be the problem, because I think there could be a huge gap between which eye they're going with, his right eye or his left eye, across there. But I'm going to change mine and go further over, I think, over in this direction near the nearer there, because I think I need to go further left just to sort of balance it a bit. So I'm going to go there and take the other one out. So what have I shoved in there? 1693, 1420. I'll use that as the first coordinate for this week. So let me know what you got on, and leave a coordinate for Saturday, even though our average was terrible this week, because, well, I don't think that was our fault. I mean, we were all clustered together nicely, apart from the distance between the right and the left. Nobody thought it was that low on our average on Saturday. Right, let's jump to Revcomps to see what cars they added last night. Now, I know I said I was cutting down, but I'd already done these tickets. So I got one on this Ferrari, so I can have the 120 grand cash. I quite like this Range Rover Evoque, so I grabbed one on there as well. That's only a 1.5 petrol, but it's got the electric motor, so it's a hybrid and still quite quick. I won on this Golf R, because who doesn't like a Golf R? But then, last night, they added these. Now, because I'm cutting down, I didn't bother with any of these others, even though I do like an RS3. I wouldn't bother with the truck, I'm not fussed on the Bath. The BMW is too big, and the Honda Civic Type R GT is nice, but I'm not 12. The Porsche is £11.67 a ticket, and they're selling 8,000 tickets, 7,999 tickets, or £60,000 cash alternative, which I'll be going for. But I doubt if any of you noticed last night that when the live draw was on Facebook, I wasn't watching it, but I know they usually put the new cars on during the live draw. Well, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes into the live draw, I refreshed the Revcomps page, and these new cars were on there, and this white Porsche was on there. And I thought, oh, that doesn't add up, because they were showing us early bird, £11.67 a ticket, £60,000 cash alternative, but they were only selling, according to the picture, 799 tickets. And I thought, that can't be right, because that would give them a revenue of about something like 9 or 10 grand, and yet they're giving away 60 grand cash alternative. That's obviously meant to be 7,999 tickets. And they were selling like hotcakes. Within about 10 minutes, they'd sold 14% of the tickets. And I thought, right, what's going to happen here is they're going to end up cancelling that draw and giving people compensation. So if that's the case, I better buy a ticket as quick as possible so I get some compo. So I did buy a ticket. And then later that evening, there was an email come out then saying Sorry, we made a mistake. We said it was 799 tickets when in fact it's 7,999 tickets. So we've cancelled that draw and we've raised it with the correct amount of tickets. However, in the meantime, we've refunded your ticket price, and in the next 24 hours, you'll have a £20 credit as compensation. So I saw that and took advantage of it. And that probably doesn't make me a very nice person, but I saw an opportunity and took it, basically. And so what I've done in the meantime then, I don't think I've had the credit yet. I haven't checked. I'm supposed to get it in 24 hours. Well, that was about 20 hours ago, so I haven't had it yet. So now I've got my money back for the original ticket. So now I'll end up spending that 20 quid on a free ticket on this white Porsche. And on the auto draws, I'm going to spend some of it on one ticket on this other Porsche, which has got £40,000 cash alternative, and one ticket on this little Renault Clio, because that would be a good runabout, and the tickets are less than £3 and it's only 6,000 tickets. And I still got a £1 or 2 spare. So I gained out of that by taking advantage of somebody else's mistake. Do I feel guilty? Yeah, I do actually, yeah. Because I saw it come in and still did it. But there we are. I'm sure somebody else did as well, because I'm sure I saw someone buy about 10 tickets when it was 799 tickets when they made the mistake. Anyway, it is what it is. That's that. Let me know how you get on, guys. Leave a ticket for Saturday's update. Where's the average video? And we'll take it from there. In the meantime, good luck, everyone.